Good day, and welcome to week 27 of Senior Mash talking rugby union. And I really hope you've been enjoying what I've been doing on Substack. And big thanks to the guys at Talking Rugby Union and National League Rugby for their support in putting this together. Let's face it, part of the reason of doing this is my efforts to use Substack for mindfulness purposes. And wow, it's been great. I've loved writing, I've loved recording, and I've loved creating. And without you, it wouldn't be possible. So many thanks. Please comment below, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, like, follow. Really makes a difference. Not a financial difference, a difference. And apparently, the algorithms love it. So you wouldn't want to upset an algorithm now, would you? I'm old enough to remember logarithms. Not algorithms, but logarithms. That's how old I am. But let's move on from my A-level maths, which incidentally I didn't do very well at, and let's get on to what I've seen in rugby over the last, well, it's 8 days since I last posted this. So, as ever, big shout out, big thanks to Sedge Media, Vinnie Morley, Joe, Tom, and I think Alex this week, who did a great job live streaming Sedgley Park Tigers versus Rams. Rams, hugely impressive outfit from down in Reading, one that I've got a huge amount of respect for. Thoroughly enjoyed going down there with the guys from Talking Rugby Union to do live streaming Friday nights under lights. What an experience. So, let's face it, the first half was all Rams, except for the last couple of minutes of the first half. And then there was an amazing comeback by Sedgley Park Tigers. What a win. Really well done to all those at Sedgley Park. Great to see Matt Riley, Bob Birtwell, Tom Ailes still strutting their stuff. Really, really great memories of watching you guys over the years. Meant a lot to me, still does. And on the sidelines, great to see Dave and Glenn and Ken watching the game in what looked like sunshine in Manchester. Wow. So we'll talk a little bit more about National 1, National 2 in a few moments. But also there was the Six Nations, and I enjoyed it. Another W for England. Superb. Absolutely superb. Keep it going. Keep it going. Borthwick, keep going. Then there was an amazing performance by Daffyd Jenkins of Wales. You'll know from my Lions predictor that I've always wanted to try and include him. But after this week's performance, wow, am I going to do that? And big, big commiserations to Antoine Dupont. I know he's a regular listener to this, so Antoine, do get well very, very soon. Thinking of you. You are an absolute star of the game, and we need people like you in our game. After all, what I'm trying to do is encourage people who are sports fans to get down to their local sports clubs, and in this case, rugby union, and watch the games live. It's a great opportunity. You'll meet some wonderful people on the touchline, and you'll see some great, great commitment and skill on display. So get down to your local club. Would always recommend National League Rugby. It's very close to where you live. Get down, spend a couple of quid over the bar, spend a couple of quid getting in, and enjoy a wonderful, wonderful sporting event. So, sports fans, rugby fans, here we are talking rugby union. Follow me on Substack, subscribe, like, comment. It's Senior Mash. So let's have a look at what National League Rugby meant this week. Well, in National 1, as I mentioned, Sedgley Park took a win against Rams, which saw Rams leave the top 4. So no longer is it 4 R's in the top. We now have Plymouth Albion. In National 2 West, Camborne continue to be stronger, with Leeds Tykes doing the same in National 2 North. Preston Grasshoppers continuing to battle, filed on their way up. National 2 East, it's Tunbridge Judinians who played Barnes over the weekend. So those top two really battling it out for promotion. As I mentioned, Camborne, Clifton, Cinderford, so it's the 3 C's at the top of National League 2 West, Macclesfield and Bourneville fighting it out at the bottom. Well, this week I really enjoyed my National League rugby, and as ever, big thanks to Sedge Media. And yes, there's Dave, Glenn and Ken watching on as YouTube live streaming again featured heavily in my viewing pleasure for the weekend. Great game, as I mentioned before. Thought Rams had absolutely taken Sedgley apart in the first half, but a fantastic comeback by the Tigers in the second half. Talking rugby union wouldn't be the same without the Six Nations, and the France-Ireland game certainly saw France's team show what it was about. Scotland dominated, but somehow let the Welsh back into the game in the second half. At England's game against Italy, it was England that prevailed. And Borthwick's decision to use a utility back off the bench was very much in evidence after 8 minutes when Ollie Lawrence suffered that Achilles injury, and it meant that Marcus Smith was straight off the bench and into the action. Elliot Daly stepping into the centre position and actually performing very well in my opinion. So whichever international team is involved, using the bench is essential. In Ireland, at the Aviva, it was Peter O'Mahony, Cian Healy and Conor Murray's last game for Ireland in Ireland, and great to see this photograph of them on the Irish Rugby Union's Twitter page. Mentioned earlier, Antoine Dupont heading off with an ACL injury. Very sad to see such a star of the game leaving the pitch, but I did like the sentiment of his tweet. The heart hurts even more than the knee when you have to leave your friends before the final step. What a telling statement on Instagram. The French coach Galtier was particularly upset by all of this, and France referred Tag Byrne, Andrew Porter for that clear out, as well as Calvin Nash. In the Wales-Scotland game, it was quite stunning the amount of tackling that was going on. And look at David Jenkins, courtesy of Robert Rees. 28 tackles, 3 more than Jack Morgan, who normally is head and shoulders above them. The under-20 Six Nations saw Scotland win, England win, and of course, France. So it's an interesting tournament. There's some great young players. It is getting TV coverage, so I'd encourage anybody to watch it. England seem to have real depth, as do France. Ireland, Scotland, Wales and Italy have some real stars. The English result was 33-24, and it puts England on the top of the table with 18 points from 4 games. Scotland propping up the bottom with 5 points from 4 games. interesting to see how the players in this tournament progress, but I'm sure many of them will be figuring in the Six Nations of the future. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time this week. All the best. Take care.